Colleagues, I have two more examples to show in this section. The first example will be related to images and customization of labeling interface for a specific task on images, and my second example will be about customization of labeling interface for video for very specific task. Let's start with the first example on images, and in this task what we have is the images like this. Those are just products on supermarket shelves, and you see that those products are labeled with bounding boxes, and what we might want to do is to assign to each rectangle here, to each product labeled with rectangle, a certain attribute, say a product identifier. But the challenge here is that there might be too many product identifiers to keep in mind, and we need some way to automate this labeling process. So more specifically, we have the following. We have a catalog. We have the following catalog here, which includes a number of tags here. Overall, we have 50 tags. And the images that we have in the catalog looks like this. So we have just 50 images, and for each image we have associated tag. And we want these tags to be assigned to each of these boxes. And here is how we can address this task. We will rely on a specific app to achieve this customization, to perform this labeling. So let me probably put this app tab on the left first, and I will run a metric learning labeling tool app. So let me run that app. So the app is started, and it asks me to connect to a metric learning module. I deployed those models previously, so I connect to this model, and so we connected to metric learning module, and we also have to connect to the app that stores all the embeddings, all the feature vectors of our catalog, and I will connect to this app as well. So probably I can do the following. I can feed this image. So what this app allows us to do, for example, it gives us the access to the catalog so that we can do visual inspection. And for example, we may pick an item here and then assign the tag if we see the match, but in this case it's not, the products do not match here. But let me speak about more interesting use case here. So probably I will disable this regime, and the interesting scenario is when we select the object and our AI model, metric learning model, outputs top, say 7 most similar top, most visual similar items. So it works like that. For example, I may pick this rectangle and go to text section, and what I will see is the top 7 predictions, and I see that, say, this product match the selected item here, and I may press assign tag button. If I click on this button, I will see that we have associated this tag with this product. I could, okay, let me probably just keep doing that. So if I press this button, okay, let me probably press this button so that the next item is selected, and we see that once we select the item, the app produces top recommendations. So I also will assign a tag to the selected product here. And if I pick, say, this product, this rectangle, I will also see the recommendation, and it happens that the first recommendation is correct, so I will assign the tag as well. And actually I may keep doing that. So let me proceed and say probably pick this product here. And again, I see top 7 recommendations, and I can just assign the proper tag here. Let me do a couple of more just to showcase the dynamics. So again, you see that the very first recommendation is correct, and I can assign the tag. Maybe let's just label, say this seems like a hard case. So if I click on this item, it's probably correct recommendation actually. So let me also assign a tag to this selected product. Okay, just last one. Say let's pick this one. And again, we see a correct recommendation on the very first position here. So I can click Assign button. And what I have achieved, I have assigned tags to several products. And alternative approach is manual labeling, which is not that easy. So we see how customization of labeling interface in combination with metric learning model allows us to significantly speed up labeling process. Let me probably finalize this example with some comments. So first comment is that I relied on this app, this Serving metric learning app and AI recommendation app to make this AI assistance possible. And also, if you go to ecosystem and click on collections, and you will see here retail collection. So you will find here a number of apps necessary to reproduce the use case that I have just shown to you. So let's move on to the next example. Colleagues, I have one last example to demonstrate in this section, and this example will be about video labeling. And I would like to take a slightly different perspective here. So I would like to demonstrate you a scenario when we have very specific task on videos, and we would like our labeling interface to be as simple as possible in a way that it solves exactly this task and no other task. So let me show you what I mean. Suppose that we have videos from various cameras, from camera 1 and camera 2, and we would like to label certain events. And the event start on camera 1 and on camera 2. So we kind of have a simple multi-camera labeling scenario here. And to address this use case, I will rely not on our standard basic video labeling interface, but rather on a very specific app. So let me run this app. It's called Mark Segments on Multi-Camera Videos. Okay, let's run it. Let's open it. So here is how the app looks like. And as a first step, what I will do, I will create a tag and I will call it, say, entrance, because the event that I will label is related to entrance. Okay, and then I have 4 videos here, actually 2 pairs, the first pair of the videos and the second pair. Let me first work with this first pair. So let me take the video from camera 1 and put it on the left, and the video from camera 2 I will put on the right, like this. Let me see if there is any events here. No, and I will just start labeling the events of interest. Let me play this video and explain what kind of event I will label. So I will label the time when a person comes in the courtyard here on this camera, on this first camera, and I would like to to match this with the event when the same person appears on this second camera. So here is the event. Maybe I will go back a bit here. Something like that. So maybe I'm interested in understanding how much time does it take for the person to cover the distance. So I will create a segment here, and we'll see this segment on this table. So we'll see this frame index that match with the first camera, and this frame index is the same as the index on the second camera. Let me just create another rather fake segment just to illustrate that there might be multiple segments, multiple events here. So I will just probably wait for the person to leave like this and just create another segment. So I just labeled two segments on these two cameras. And I can click Mark Videos as Done button, and if I navigate up, I will see that the first two videos are processed. And let me quickly do the same operation with the second pair. So let me make the camera one, put the camera one on the left side and camera two on the right side, and I will also see that if there is anything labeled, not. So I will start labeling, and very similar procedure. So I will run this video until I will see the event of interest. In this case, the event is the same, person comes in, and maybe I'm interested again in understanding how much time does it take for the person to get to the parking lot. So I will run the second video. I can navigate over this video if I want. So I will wait for the event, and then I will stop and create a segment. Again, we see the segment created, and maybe I will mark this video as done as well. So I have labeled these 4 videos, and let me show you how the result of this work of this labeling looks like in the default video labeling interface. So let me close this tab and go to projects and this video project, and I will just open the same videos in a standard labeling interface. And what we see is, okay, let's navigate to this very first video. I have labeled two events here. So here is the first event. This is real event, and internally the app put here entrance tag with the value begin 1. And if we go to the second video, we will see the entrance tag with the value of end 1. So that's essentially corresponds to the end of the first event. And the same for the second event. In our case, it was like fake event that we labeled just to demonstrate that there might be multiple segments for the pair of the videos. Yeah, so I think that's it for this demo. And one last comment about this use case is that it's important to have a large variety of simple labeling interfaces for very specific tasks, and you can expect a lot of these simple labeling interfaces, simple task-specific labeling interfaces available in Supervisely ecosystem over time. Colleagues, in this section we have seen quite a number of examples how we can take AI models and use them to make labeling process of images and videos more efficiently. We also saw the idea that customization of graphical user interface may be very useful and speed up labeling process for very specific tasks. Let's move on to the next modalities, to point cloud data and to DICOM data, and see how AI models might be used to process those modalities faster.